Hello, YouTube. This is Ryan, aka the Habitual Line Stepper, back at you with yet another video. I hope that you are well. Peace over everything. Speaking on peace, as is the underlying theme of every last one of my shows, everything I do is a building block to peace and making sure that you guys understand that of all things, peace should be considered above everything. Your world. How are you handling your world? How are you dealing with making sure you have control over the things that you control? You being accountable for the things that you control. You cannot control what companies do, what your parents do, what your siblings do, you know, what politicians do. You can't control none of that, but you can control your world. You can control how those things outside of you affect you. Contrary to popular belief, you can guard yourself against a lot of things that the outside world is throwing at you, but you must manage your inside world. It's a must. How much are you taking control of the things that you can take control of? Or are you just allowing things just to happen to you? You're not preparing for things. You know, your job you can get fired, laid off, whatever you want to call it. A policy can change. You have new rules and new duties that you have to abide by. What are you doing to guard yourself against that? Are you taking up another trade? Are you taking up another, certification? Are you saving some money? Because let me tell you, you'll hear me talk about saving money from time to time because I believe it's important. But if you have money saved up, if you have a year of income saved up, 6 months of income, heck, 2 months of income saved up and pushed to the side, it gives you more power than you think. You don't have to tolerate intolerable people or intolerable circumstances when you have your money, your finances in order. That's one thing that you can do to guard yourself from the outside world. If a layoff happens, you're not devastated because you have money stashed to the side, as opposed to somebody who did not save and they're living paycheck to paycheck for whatever reason. And then something happens where they lose their job or they get fired or anything happens, the company downsizes, whatever. Now that person is in total disarray because they were already living paycheck to paycheck. Now they have no income. So now they're going to be devastated. You, on the other hand, have some money saved. You have a buffer between you and that hard space. So with that being said, that's one way of guarding yourself against the outside world, what may happen beyond you that you can't control that. But you can control whether or not you prepare yourself. And that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about peace, I'm talking about making sure you're doing everything you can do to not only achieve peace, but also guard yourself. Guard your peace. You have to guard it because the world is constantly coming at you. It's constantly trying to chip away at you. It's constantly going to try to break you. You have to be able to guard yourself against these things. So you have to be smart. You have to be methodical in how you move. You just can't navigate through this life, blindly. You have to be able to see things coming. If it's people who don't like you, like I said, you can remove yourself from. You can't control what other people think about you. The Les Brown, the great speaker, said that what people think about you is none of your business. Excellent way to guard yourself against what people think about you. It's irrelevant. what they think about you. It's not important what they think about you. You can't control that, but you can control your world. You can control how you think about you, what you think about you. You should be speaking positive things about yourself. You should be doing positive things for yourself. You should be taking care of yourself, guarding your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your financial health. You should be protecting those things. You should be taking care of those. Those should be your focus. Not what people think of you, not that people, you may have a coworker who doesn't like you, you may have a tough boss, you may have a family member or whatever who, is being difficult. Those things happen. But you can guard yourself against that by handling those things that I was telling you about: the financial health, the mental health, the physical health, the spiritual health, emotional health. Look out for those things. Do those things. Don't allow people to come into your space and disrupt you. You have some people out here. You have a lot of miserable people in this world. A lot of miserable people. And a lot of times it's by their own design. We all have choices. We all have a story. We all can have a reason to be a disagreeable, miserable person. Everybody has a story. Everybody comes from something that you have found to be rough, tough, because it's relative to what you've been through. And so we all have an excuse if we want to be. Some of us choose not to be. Some of us choose to be productive, and we take what we have and we build from there. These are the things that I'm saying. You have to make yourself, your world, how you want it to be. You want to be able to open yourself up to opportunities. You want to open your mind up for different ideas. You want to create this world where you are in control of everything that you should be in control of. If your finances aren't right, you should take control of your finances. You should make a focus of saying, you know what, I'm going to do what I need to do. If it means me downsizing, if it means me having to take a second job temporarily, whatever it takes for me to do to build up my finances, to eliminate debt, to build up some savings so I can invest, so I can have a buffer between me and whatever the world is going to throw at me that's negative, I'm prepared for it. That is your task to do. Is it easy? Absolutely not. I realize that there are people out there who are really struggling. And I'm saying to you that if you are able to save some money, if you're able to cut the fat, do it and save some money. You will give yourself a hell of a break. You will thank yourself later down the road when tough things happen, because it's not a matter of if, it's when. That's how the world works. Get used to it. It's tough out here. It always has been, and it always will be. It's designed to make you into you. These trials and tribulations that you're going through, it's not unique just to you in terms of you're the only person who has to deal with trials and tribulations. Everybody has to deal with trials and tribulations. What the world teaches you is either you learn to handle it or you will go down. That's how it's structured. No matter where you're from or what you're dealing with, that's how it's structured. Either sink or swim. You have to be hell-bent on swimming or drown. That's up to you. You have to make that decision. It's tough out here. It is very tough. Sometimes you can't tell friend from foe, but you have to guard yourself. You have to guard yourself. You can't handle what the government's, wherever you're from. You can't control what policies they make. You can vote. Let me say that you can vote. Let me say that. But at the end of the day, if a government decides to do something, it's beyond your control. You have to decide, what am I doing to buffer myself against these things? Am I giving myself some options? You may still have tough times regardless of what you do. I'm not saying that you're 100% going to be protected from what's coming. I'm saying that you can reduce the amount of damage that you take on, as opposed to somebody who did not prepare for somebody who did prepare. Just because a hurricane or a tornado happens to be in your city and you have the best house made of brick and all this foundation does not mean that your house is not going to take on some damage. But if you have things in play, you have your tornado insurance or house or homeowners insurance, you have some kind of buffer that if something happens that you're going to be okay. That's what you do. Self-insure yourself in every aspect of your life. Because again, it is coming. As secure, as confident as I am in terms of what I have built, I realize that I can be had. Things can happen to me. Things will happen to me. But the thing is, I'm building a barrier between me and those things. And when they come, I am not going to take on nearly the damage I would have had I not been prepared. I can build up from there. What I will not allow myself to do is to be in a situation where I did not do what I'm supposed to do and things happen to me. I go to the gym. Nothing's guaranteed. You can go to the gym, lift all these weights, build all this muscle, build your cardiovascular system, eat right, and everything, and something's still gonna happen to you. Something's still gonna happen to you. We're all gonna die. There's gonna be a day where I open my eyes for the last time. It's the quality of life that I seek. I don't do all this weightlifting and all this other stuff so I can live forever. That's a fool. I know I'm not gonna live forever. I know I'm going to age. I know that I am going to. Some of the things I used to be able to do in my youth, I can't do as well as an adult or in my older age. But I still want a quality of life that is good. I don't want to be an 85-year-old who feels like the world is just, my body is just, constantly in pain or constantly, working against me. I want to be an 80-year-old who's in great shape. Not for an 80-year-old, for just in great shape. Because I want to buffer myself against what time has done. You can't be on this earth this long and not take on damage. But by lifting weights and eating right, as opposed to somebody who did not decide to take care of themselves, who happens to be into 80s, they're going to have a far harder time. I see people who don't take care of themselves, regardless of age, and it will affect you. You can't enjoy your life. This body is your vessel. This is what God, or whoever you call the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, this is the vessel they gave you to navigate through this world. When this breaks down, there's nothing else to carry you through this world. So I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much wealth you have. When your body breaks down, it means nothing. When your health is gone, your physical health, your mental health, when that's gone, it's over. Nothing in this life is nothing else. I'm sorry, getting tongue-tied. Nothing else in this life matters at that point. This is your vessel. This is what gets you through. So you have to guard it by doing the proper things. This is what I'm saying. The outside world, you can't control that. But you can control what goes into your mouth. You can control, you going to exercise. You can control, how much money you spend. You can control how much debt you take on. You can control if I eliminate debt. You can't control if I allow myself an opportunity to learn different skills. I don't know what these companies are going to do. I don't know how my career may change. But I do know that if I put certain controls in place, that I have a greater chance of coming out better than someone who did not even try. I remember my dad, he was at a restaurant and he was talking to a waitress. He told me the story. And this waitress, she was a attractive woman. She was going to school. I don't remember what she was going to college for, but she's going to college. And one of the other waitresses, who wasn't going to college, wasn't she basically, this is what she was going to do. She's going to be a waitress. Nothing's wrong with that. But she told, she got in a conversation, and she told the girl who was going to college doesn't guarantee anything. You can still, that career path may not be fruitful for you. But the girl who was going to college rebutted and said, well, yeah, it may be true, but I know I can come back and get your job. That is what I'm talking about. Even if you go through a time in your life where you fail, because you're going to fail, you could still land in a spot where you are still better off than someone who did not prepare. That's all I'm saying. Prepare. I have seen it time and time again. I give you story upon story of not preparing. I can give you personal stories. In my earlier days, how not being prepared has affected me. But this video would be like 10 hours long. So all I'm saying is prepare yourself for this world. Prepare your world. So the world outside of you doesn't control how you move and your comfort level. Doesn't affect your world. Do those things. So with that being said, if you got anything from this video, please comment, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to my video. Again, I know there's literally thousands upon thousands of videos on this YouTube that you guys could be looking at. You took time out to listen to me. I appreciate you. Peace over everything. Till next time.